Have you ever wondered what happens to the body and mind of older adults who practice masturbation regularly? If you're over 50, this topic might resonate with you in a deep way. In our cultures, talking about sexuality in old age is still a taboo, something often hidden under the veil of discomfort or silence. But today, I want to approach this issue from a scientific, medical, and psychological perspective as a sexologist and doctor specializing in older adults. It's vital to understand how masturbation affects the physical and emotional well-being of seniors who practice it regularly. Let's break the myths surrounding pleasure in old age and discover the reality of how this intimate practice can influence the lives of those who experience it, both positively and negatively. This content is aimed at adults, especially those who are already living in the second half of their lives. First, let's talk about the nature of masturbation. It's an activity that, regardless of age, has the potential to generate physical pleasure, while simultaneously relieving emotional tension throughout life. This practice is experienced in different ways, and old age is no exception. As we age, the body goes through a series of natural changes, both in the hormonal system and physical sensitivity, which affects our relationship with pleasure and sexual desire for older adults. Masturbation can be a way to maintain a connection with their own bodies. Testosterone and estrogen levels naturally decrease with age, which can alter the frequency and intensity of sexual desire. However, it's important to highlight that desire doesn't disappear, it just changes the way it manifests masturbation. Then, benefits becomes a way to explore and rediscover one's own pleasure without the expectations or pressures that often accompany intimacy in youth. What are the physical and emotional benefits of masturbation? In old age, medical studies have shown that regular masturbation has multiple positive effects on the body. For starters, it helps maintain blood circulation in the genital area, which can prevent tissue atrophy. Due to lack of use, self-stimulation also triggers the release of endorphins, the happiness hormones, which are essential for combating stress and improving mood. Moreover, when an older person practices masturbation, they experience physical relief that can improve sleep quality, something fundamental for general well-being at the stage of life in the psychological realm. Masturbation also plays a key role. It serves as a tool for self-awareness, reinforcing self-esteem and a positive perception of the body. For many seniors, this is a crucial aspect, as aging often comes with a sense of losing control over their own body. Masturbation allows them to regain some of that control, helping them feel more connected to themselves. However, when we talk about constant or excessive masturbation in old age, we need to consider some important warnings. Masturbation, like any pleasurable activity, can become a compulsive habit. Physically, excessive stimulation of the genital nerves can lead to hypersensitivity, which could eventually cause discomfort or a temporary decrease in sensations. This phenomenon, although not permanent, could lead to a certain dependence on greater stimulation to achieve the same level of pleasure, which in some cases could cause frustration or anxiety. But the real impact of excessive masturbation in old age goes beyond the physical. In my practice, I've seen that for many older adults, masturbation becomes an emotional escape. As we age, it's common to experience feelings of loneliness, anxiety, or depression, effects especially if social or family relationships weaken. In such cases, masturbation can provide temporary relief from these emotions. However, if it becomes the only source of comfort, it can lead to an even greater cycle of isolation. Instead of seeking companionship, affection, or emotional support, the person may turn to self. Stimulation, further disconnecting from the world around them. What do medical studies say about masturbation in old age? From a clinical standpoint, masturbation is not harmful in itself, but like any habit, excessive practice can have side effects. Some studies have indicated that older adults who engage in compulsive masturbation may experience physical and mental fatigue, which affects their daily energy levels. Excessive masturbation can also lead to a decrease in motivation for other important activities such as physical exercise, which is essential for maintaining mobility and cardiovascular health. In old age, an important aspect to consider is how masturbation can affect interpersonal relationships in this stage of life. While it's true that many older adults live alone and resort to masturbation to satisfy their sexual needs for those who have, partners' excessive self-stimulation can interfere with shared intimacy. I've seen cases where frequent masturbation replaces seeking intimacy with a partner, creating emotional and physical distance between them. In such cases, it's important to find a balance so that masturbation doesn't become a barrier to intimate contact with the other person. Emotionally and psychologically excessive masturbation can generate feelings of guilt or shame, especially in those who grew up in environments where sexuality was always considered a forbidden or shameful topic. I've heard from many seniors that when masturbating, they feel trapped between pleasure and guilt, an internal struggle that can affect their emotional well-being. In these cases, it's essential to recognize that sexuality, even in old age, is a natural and positive aspect of life and shouldn't be burdened with guilt. However, conclusion: if masturbation becomes an emotional escape that replaces human contact, it may be necessary to seek other forms of emotional support, such as therapy or the company of loved ones. There are long-term physical risks. It's important to debunk certain myths surrounding masturbation. In old age, there's no medical evidence suggesting that masturbation causes permanent damage to sexual organs or accelerates aging. Neither is there any link between masturbation and diseases like prostate cancer or severe sexual dysfunctions. However, as I mentioned earlier, excessive masturbation can lead to physical exhaustion and even a long-term decrease in libido. In conclusion, masturbation in old age is a natural practice that, when done in moderation, can be extremely beneficial for physical and emotional health. It not only helps with circulation and the elasticity of genital tissues, but also provides emotional relief during times of stress or anxiety. However, as with everything, it's important to maintain balance. If masturbation becomes a daily routine that affects other areas of life, it's essential to reflect on the reasons behind that compulsion and find healthier ways to satisfy emotional and physical needs. Remember, pleasure has no age. The key is to find a balance that allows you to enjoy your sexuality without it becoming a burden. If you found this reflection interesting, I invite you to subscribe to our channel, Wise Old Age, where we continue exploring, without taboos, how we live our sexuality and emotions at every stage of life. See you soon.